Excited. The buzzer went off. The jet skis refueled. It's back. The boys are in the water. The heat has started, Manny. Jake Stone takes on Mike Stewart.
Perfect, exactly. So we've been waiting for the jet ski guy, and they have finally showed up. Whew, I don't know if he's going to get some pink slips later on today, but holding us up. He's back. Jet ski's back. Safety security is on lockdown. We're ready to rock and roll. Jake Stone in the red jersey versus Mike Stewart in the yellow jersey. Old versus new. Legend versus the Grommet. Who's going to take it? Winner advancing on. 25-minute heat. Top two wave score. 12 wave maximum. And here we go. 24 minutes. Here we go.
Here we're off and running, Manny. And look, it's a big hurdle to get through this one. I guess the ominous thing for these guys is you get through here and you get the pleasure of meeting Maury Laverne in the quarterfinals. So
Ouch.
it just gets harder and harder. But look, both these guys are just huge talents, and Mike knows how to ride a wave pretty much as well as any bodyboarder in the world. But Jake Stone's so explosive. He's capable of anything. And as I said, will he bust out the double roll?
You know what? Everybody's been holding their breath when he goes up and tries to pull this maneuver off, but he has yet to complete it in the 2011 IBA World Tour. Will it happen now? Who knows? I mean, it all comes down to the right wave selection, and the wave producing that perfect lip for him to pull it off.
Yeah, no, for sure. And if he gets the opportunity, that's the thing you like about these young guys. They like to take risks, and I think if he gets the section, I'd back him to give it a try, and look, I'd love to see him land one. I'd love to see how the judges respond to that. But look, even without that, he's got plenty of other tricks in his bag. And but it's conditions like this, Manny. It said it's dropped a little bit. The wind's still cross shore, but there are we saw Maury Laverne only sort of 20 minutes ago bag an 8.95. So there's scoring potential out there. You just got to be patient, got to pick the right ones, and you're not going to get as many waves as some other locations. So when you get the wave, you've got to make it count.
Exactly. So these guys have their work cut out for them. And as we mentioned, each one of these round 4 heats could be a final in itself. Out in the water, Jake Stone versus Mike Stewart. Totally can see a final happen between these two guys. But here they are in round number 4 and drawing first blood, Mike Stewart.
Oh, he's pulled into a nice one here. Look, he said plenty of wall on this wave. He gets up to the section. Oh, look, beautiful punt. That's very cleanly executed. He'd be happy with that start. Said it was probably a bit of a lower risk strategy. Get the score on the board early, and he'll be happy. And puts the ball back over to Jake Stone and says, what can you do, Jake? But solid start from Mike Stewart. We'll wait for the judges to put together. But here's the replay, man. He talk us through it.
All right, Mike Stewart drop it in. He sees a nice clean wave. The wind is not really affecting that wave, and you can see it drawing nice clean line straight for the lip, and Mike Stewart busting a nice invert right there. Lands perfectly, and that's all she wrote for Mike Stewart's one maneuver wave. Now the judges have to take everything, make everything relative. The wind, the swell is dropping a little bit. The wind is still up, so they're going to judge each wave accordingly.
They are, and look, the judges have conferred. The score's in the bag. It's a 5.6 for Mike Stewart to start this heat. Look, he's smiling there. He'd probably be smiling in the water at the moment too. But look, Mike Stewart, he's just the ultimate waterman. His best result this year, he's currently in 15th. He only got 18th in Sintra. He doesn't always excel in these conditions. So he likes the big stuff. At pipe, 11 times I believe he's won pipeline. Benny, is that right?
I believe he's won pipeline several times. So out in the water right now, 5.6 is Mike Stewart's first wave. Jake Stone still waiting for his first wave.
Yeah, look, it's still 20 minutes to go. We've got 25-minute heats here, so Jake Stone, and he might be going with the Maury Laverne strategy of just getting, picking off the good ones and making them count, and that's all you need to do. And but look, he's got priority. We still use a priority system here on the man-on-man, so you have Jake Stone currently has priority. So, yes, Mike's sitting inside him there, but Jake's let him move in. He knows where he wants to sit on this reef. He knows where he believes the waves are going to come, and he'll just be patient and see what it delivers.
All right, looks like a little paddle going on right now. Mike Stewart and Jake Stone. Jake Stone saw Mike paddling, but Jake drop it in, and here he goes on the inside. looking for that section where he can do a big move, and there it is. Nice extended, slow motion, fully extended roll right there for Jake Stone. So not bad for first wave for Jakey.
Yeah, look, probably a bit of tactics there. Mike kind of forced him into that one. He paddled and put the doubt in his mind, but here's the replay. Looked like a nice wave. It said nice wall. Jake finds his line, sitting a little bit higher on the wave, trying to get up to that section. And again, not too risky. Nice extension roll. As you said, really, accentuated that and didn't rush it. Landed cleanly, and look, we'll see what the judges think. But a solid start. A solid start for Jake, and he can build on that, and he's got 19 minutes to do so.
Nice wave exchange in the first 5 minutes of the heat. Mike Stewart clocking in a 5.6 ride, and Jake Stone still waiting for his scores to drop from the judges. But Mike Stewart waiting on the outside all by himself, waiting for a nice solid set to come through. The wind is still pumping full blast, and here we go. Mike Stewart, Jake Stone, and Jake Stone drops at a 5.0. So 2 solid waves for the first wave. Top 2 waves will be scored. The total combined score will determine the winner, and only one winner in this heat. Advancing on, second place, good night.
Yeah, well, it's all elimination from here, and it just comes down to what waves they can find. And look, at the moment, there's nothing splitting these two. 5.6 for Mike, a 5.0 for Jake, and look, they've both got a bit of work to do. They both, haven't had the year they probably planned on the World Tour. For both these guys, it's more a matter of getting a strong result and getting in the top 16 and booking themselves a seed for next year. But this result here, just making it to the final 16, are very valuable points on the tour. And if they can progress through this round again, look, they're a step closer to qualification for next year. So different priorities for different people, but it all counts, Manny.
I think all these guys are pretty excited to be able to participate in this World Tour, only because this is the first time each event has been held in some pretty incredible waves. For the exception of Portugal, yes, Portugal delivered some smaller waves, but that's where if you wanted to be crowned a world champ, you got to be able to play on any field. And going from big waves that we've had the first half of the tour and hitting Portugal, that made a lot of difference and got a lot of people thinking, okay, you know what, this is what it's going to take. They dig deep, and they competed at the Centro Portugal Pro. Here we are now in Reunion Island for more action in some solid surf.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I said, Mike Stewart's got a big one here, and he finds the section and rolls out of it. Can he kick out the front of that? I don't think he has. I can see his head popping. Hold the phone, Manny. No, he's fallen off the back. That'll be a non-complete move for Mike, and you can't let too many of those opportunities go. When the waves present themselves, you've just got to do everything you can. You're not seeing high risk manoeuvres, but you're seeing them just trying to get those high scoring moves in. But you got footage of Ben Player there. He's up next against Jeff Hubbard in the next heat, and that'll be a classic. And we'll have to ask Ben later what song he was listening to, but he's more interested about holding on to his VIP pass for the riders area at the moment.
I think he's been trying to untangle it from his iPod wire for the past 5 minutes. He finally got it, so now he can start getting ready for his heat. Ben Player coming up against Jeff Hubbard. Unbelievable heat coming up. Look at Jeff in the background getting ready as well.
Just keeping an eye on Ben, even in the competitors area, not letting him out of his sight. But there's a couple of sets rolling through there, but unfortunately cleaning, just washing through. But look, that'll be an exciting heat, man. Ben, he had it all ahead of him today. He needed a 6 points from his round 3, i.e. first place. But Seamus has made his way back into the water. He's a machine, and he's found Mike Stewart paddling out. And look, with all this moving water and this wind, it's very challenging for Seamus to sit there and do his thing. But he never complains. Up and riding, Jake Stone.
Yeah, Jake Stone finding a nice lip to do an air roll spin. Goes right back into a roll and comes around the section and another roll. This guy is on fire right now, putting together a nice combination of moves. A smaller wave, but is able to make a nice combination of moves right there to finish off on the inside section. So solid wave right there for Jake Stone. Again, a smaller one, but a nice combination of maneuvers.
Look, he did really well. The important thing is getting that critical move in early on in the wave. The judges like that. Good projection roll there. Keeps riding through. I'm going to go to, as far to say this could be the highest scoring wave of the heat. He only needs a 4.61 to jump into the lead. The fact he rode that all the way through and cleanly, a good second score for Jake Stone. And he needs a 4.61, Manny, for that to jump. Still 14 minutes to go. But I tell you what, I think he's gone a long way to getting close anyway. But Jake Stone, the 21-year-old from the Sunshine Coast, now resides in WA. We spoke about. He's moved down to Dunsborough now to chase the I guess
Perfect
the waves.
Yeah.
And it's working for him because it's just dropped, Manny.
Wow, 6.5 for Jake Stone's last combination of maneuvers on that smaller wave. But you know what? Again, it's all relative, and the judges scored accordingly. 6.5 for Jake Stone, pushing him ahead of Mike Stewart now with a total combined score of 11.5 to Stewart's 9.6. So Stewart now chasing a 5.91 with 14 minutes remaining in this heat. Good times for Jake Stone.
Yeah, you'd be happy with that. Applies the blowtorch on Mike Stewart. 5.91, as you just said, Manny, and look, Mike's very capable of that, especially with 13 and a half minutes remaining. But let's see what he can do. But Jake, he's in the box seat. Obviously, Mike's got priority out there in the water, but Jake will be kicking out now. He'll have a smile on his face. He surfed that all the way through, and now look with a 6.5 in the bag, Manny, and a backup score of 5. It'll be interesting to see what Jake does, but he can sit out there now and just wait for that one more wave. Because similar to as you saw what Amaury Laverne did, he's got 2 scores on the board. The pressure's on Mike, and so Jake will sit out there, hopefully wait for the right wave, and then do his thing. And if he can do that, he'll find himself in the quarterfinals against Amaury Laverne, the final 8 of the competition, and super valuable points for Jake, and he'd be happy with that. But hey, long way to go, Manny.
All right, give us the lowdown on what to expect in the next live broadcast, even though we do have 6-7 heats to go for the remaining of today's live broadcast. But what's in store for the next full day of competition?
Well, it's been a tricky forecast. We've still got 6 days of the waiting period left, Manny. But the problem, this break here, it has the potential to really fire, but it doesn't necessarily. It's at its best when it's around 6 feet. Not when it's 8 and 10 feet. And the actual forecast for next weekend is for big waves, 8, 10 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet waves. But it's just a very risky proposition because as we saw, it's not always the best solution. But we have Mike Stewart up and riding.
Mike Stewart in the yellow jersey, dropping in, nice bottom turn straight off the top, nice roll, and comes to the inside and punches through the lip on the inside. Another nice solid roll right there. So Mike Stewart adding to his scorecard, needing a 5.91 for that first place spot. Is that enough? Let's take another look.
Here it is. Look, I think maybe it is. It's almost like the trademark. That rolls a little bit more force. But this second one, he gets through to the inside section. This is almost like a trademark. I feel that I've seen that roll from Mike Stewart 30 times in the past, and it's been so successful for him. 5.91's the score he's chasing. I think it'll go close, Manny, but it's going to be an either way call, and Jake Stone will be listening carefully. The local crowd will be listening carefully. Mike's family and friends back home will be listening carefully. Is it enough? 3 of the scores have dropped. We're waiting for the final judge to make his mind up, but I think it's going to be close, Manny, and still 11 minutes to go, so anything can happen. But the score has dropped. It was a 6.1. It is enough to put Mike Stewart back into first place. Seesawing heat here.
Yeah. So Mike Stewart pulling off a nice combination of moves on that wave. So he knows what he has to do, and he just delivered right there. 6.1 on his last wave. So Jake Stone now, he needs a 5.2 to advance on. Tons of time. Jake Stone in priority and has 10 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in this heat number 2 of round number 4. So we're coming down to the last few days of competition today. We're going to end with heat number 8 of round number 4. Then we go into the main event quarterfinals, followed by the semifinals and finals. So thanks again for tuning in to the Nissan Reunion Bodyboard Pro, brought to you by Continental, coming to you live from the south side of Reunion Island at Les Arches Reef Break right here. The sun is out. It's beautiful. Look at Stewart.
Yeah, mate, the sun's always shining here. I see nothing but blue sky. Unfortunately, we've got a little bit of wind. But again, it could be worse. It is cross shore. It's not onshore, and look, the score's dropping around the 6. We've got a 6.5 from Jake Stone, a 6.1 from Mike Stewart. There's 5 waves have been ridden. Still 10 minutes to go. So, look, definitely conditions justifying being out there, and the riders, it's making the most of it. And look, these are the best 16 riders in the world right now. We have in the water, and we have a legend of the sport, Mike Stewart, one of the huge up and coming talents in Jake Stone. This is what it's all about, and Jake Stone, Mike Stewart was still competing before Jake Stone was born. So for him to sit here now in the final, but looks like we've got Jake paddling into one. Manny, can you talk us through it?
All right, Jake Stone dropping in, finding a nice little lip maneuver, sneaks under the barrel right there and goes again, probably similar what he just did on his first maneuver. So Jake Stone, 2 rolls under the lip, through the lip, and finishes off that wave, needing a 5.2 to get that first place spot back from Mike Stewart. So we will wait and see.
Here's the replay, Manny. Again, he got the roll in nice and early, critical section of the wave. Keeps going across, another good roll. It's said nice and clean, full projection. Oh, it's going to be close. 5.2. It's very similar to the other waves. Have been getting scores, there and thereabouts. So let's see. Oh, the scores are dropped. What do we got?
That. It's totally seesawing right now in this heat. Mike Stewart giving up that first place spot to Jake Stone once again. Jake Stone, a 5.6 on his last wave. Now, Mike Stewart chasing a 6.01 on his next wave to get that first place spot away from Jake Stone. So here we are, Mike Stewart.
Drops into it, looks like a set wave. Again, the move of the heat, the roll. Oh, Mike didn't, I don't think there's a 6.01 in that for Mike. We'll wait and see. But it's good to see. I think the judges, you're doing a great job here, Manny. You've had, if you can think back of Mike's first wave, we had a couple of rolls on a sort of an average-looking wave. He got a 5.6. There's Jake Stone. He wants a score update. He's getting a little bit stressed out there with 7.5 minutes to go. But first wave of Mike Stewart in the heat. He did a couple of rolls on a similar size wave. He got a 5.6. Jake Stone, 15 minutes later, similar size wave, 2 rolls, and he got a 5.6 as well. So good level of consistency. And, we've got a very experienced judging panel up there led by Craig Haddon, and they're doing a great job. And, we've got the international panel, also got a couple of the locals that help out as well, and hat goes off to them because, they're long days for everyone, Manny, and those guys have got to concentrate in the water the whole time and be consistent in their calls, and because if they're not, the world's watching. There's a lot at stake. The riders, I'll let them know if they're not happy, and so, as you said, a very thankless job, but very important.
Very important. Without them, we wouldn't be here right now. So shout out to those guys for holding it down. Pierre-Louis Costa getting ready for his heat, as well as the rest of the competitors coming up in round number 4. We are going to finish today's broadcast with the last heat of round number 4. That is going to be Johan Florentin versus Dallas Singer. You're going to see later on in the broadcast. And here's another beautiful pan of where we are, Les Arches in the south of Reunion Island. Beautiful, sunny, blue water. Jake Stone, Mike Stewart currently out in the water with 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Mike Stewart needing a 6.01 to get that first place spot away from Jake Stone.
Well, you wouldn't want to be too relaxed if you're Jake Stone out there. Look, Mike Stewart, he's already got a 6.1 in the bag and very capable of getting that score. 6 minutes to go. But look, this is heat 2 of round 4. Still heat six heats to follow this one, Manny, and some really exciting matchups coming. I'm really looking forward to the Hub versus Player in the next heat.
Unreal.
But look, Hub, he's the current tour leader. If he wins this one, pretty close to securing a title. BP, he's had a mixed year. He's very consistent. Always gets through to the final round, or to the round of 16 it seems. But he just hasn't kicked on to a final berth. And so you've got 5.5 minutes paddling it. A couple of other heats coming up. Many PLC takes on Hardy. Another awesome matchup. Then you've got the legend Galame Tamega taking on the winner of the trials, and I guess what we're all talking about, Alex Urunga.
That's going to be an interesting one because you got the big wave master who shows no fear, and then you got Alex Urunga who shows no pain. It's going to be a pretty interesting. Both of these guys hungry, and they're coming up next in heat number 5 of round number 4. And here's another look of the competitors area and the up-to-date scores in the water currently Heat number 2, round number 4. What do we got?
We've got 4.5 minutes to go, but
Oh!
Jake Stone's up and riding. Whoa,
Uh-oh.
there we go. This is what he needs. He wants to extend his lead. He's looking at better at 5.6. Oh, it's a solid score by Jake. I think it'd be. Look, you can see the energy he's got. He's got the rhythm. You can feel that. It's great footage, and he's rolled all the way through to the rocks and looking to replace a 5.6. 4.5 minutes to go. Currently, Mike Stewart. Looks like Mike Stewart's paddling out as well. So we may have had a wave from Mike Stewart. Hopefully, we get to see the replay of that. But he needs a 6.01 at this stage. But Manny, we've got firstly Jake Stone's wave.
Wow, Jake Stone may have solidified that wave right there. With the first place, Mike Stewart was chasing a 6.01, and that was before this wave. Now we got to wait until the scores drop, and it is probably one of the best waves we've seen so far in these first 2 heats. So the judges dropping the scores as Jake in the replay still spinning and rolling through that wave. So Mike Stewart making his way back out to the lineup.
Manny, look at that.
Oh my Lord, check this out, an 8.0 on Jake Stone's last wave, which means now Mike Stewart is chasing an 8.4. Impossible? No. Possible? Yes, but now Mike Stewart has to dig deep.
It's hard, Manny, it's hard. Actually, Mike caught a little wave there while we were following Jake's wave and unable to get the score he needed. He got a 3.9. But, you know, as I said, with Jake landing that strong score of 8.0, Mike Stewart all of a sudden, you know, under real pressure. He needs 8.4 to stay alive in this competition. 3 minutes to go, Manny. Mike's paddling back out the back. Gee, he's got a challenge ahead of him. And as I have a look, Mike's got priority though. So Mike Stewart does have priority. So he's got the pick of the wave if it does come in the 3 minute. But,
so Jake Stone's last wave in 8.0, he needs to be able to hold on to that. And but Mike Stewart, he can come back. But it's Jake Stone right now leading the charge with a 14.5 combined total score of his 2 top scoring waves versus Mike Stewart's 11.7.
Well, you know, 26 years of difference between these guys in the water. It's just amazing. And look, you know, and there's not a lot split in them. It's been a seesawing heat, and
so this could be Stewart's son out in the water.
Easily. Yeah, Mike was winning pipe before Jake was even born. Let alone that's what I mean. Like, if you look at Jake Stone, like he would have been growing up, and everyone grew up watching Mike Stewart. He would never have thought. You know, he'd be in a final, world tour event, man on man with Mike Stewart. And
look at this, Jake Stone eyeing up a wave as he paddles by the cameraman. And does he grab it?
No, it looks like he let that one go. But I said Mike's got priority, so he'll use that wisely. No, there's Jake there. Seamus back him out in the lineup, and not worried about Sharks. Thumbs up by Jake. But again, a bit of a set comes through there. Washes through. Looks like there's a bit of action out in the water. Mike's got a minute 40, Manny, to pull the rabbit out of the hat, cat out of the bag, whatever you like to say.
Oh, no.
Minute 30 needs an 8.4. Jake's just going to ride this one in.
All right, Jake turning around, knowing that Stewart has priority. If he's going to sit on Stewart, he's not going to be able to get anything. It's just Mike Stewart now waiting patiently for a better wave, but time is winding down for Mike Stewart. 1 minute, 15 seconds remaining for him to come up with an 8.4 scoring wave. Stewart, if he doesn't get that wave, it is the end of the road for Stewart in this competition. Jake Stone being the giant killer in this heat right now.
Look, it's funny. Jake's warmed up as this event, as the tour has progressed. He had a slow start to the year, no luck at pipe, no luck at the box. Not a lot of luck in Chile, but then he's built on it in Mexico. He got a 5th position in Sintra.
Nice.
All of a sudden, he's back in the top 16. Looks like he's going to be, a top 8 finish in this event. And all of a sudden, he's looking pretty safe to be in the top 16 next year, which is great for the tour. He's one of, there's lots of talent coming through, but there's a couple of key guys who are 21 years of age who are just so exciting to watch. You've got Jake Stone, you've got Pierre-Louis Costes, you've got Jared Houston, Diego Cabrera, all these guys. That new generation, Sergio Alonso, guys like that. Now that's what you want to see. We love having guys like Mike on tour, and with this finish, hopefully he'll be there next year as well. But it's so exciting seeing this new talent come through. 5 seconds, Manny. Jake's taking this one out.
Wow, Jake Stone, the young gun, taking down the legend, the living legend Mike Stewart in heat number 2 of round number 4 here in the main event. Surprised? It's hard I mean, both of these guys had a chance to pull it off, and Mike Stewart knows that's the end of the trail as he has fun on his last wave coming in out of that heat. So there you have it. Jake Stone beats Mike Stewart in round number 4, heat number 2.
Look, yeah, he'd be stoked with that. The crew in the sunny coast would be stoked with that, and his new home crew in WA. Everyone would be stoked for Jake. And look, he's through. You know,
It's going to be fun. I mean, Jake Stone's a character. It's going to be pretty fun to have him on the tour, consistently doing well, and it's always good to be around him because he's always trying to make people laugh, and he's fun to be around.
Oh, for sure. And look, but you know, it doesn't get any easier. He's just taken out Mike Stewart, and now he meets Amaury Laverne in the next round. So
I'm down here with Jake Stone. He just won the second round for heat, beating Mike Stewart. Jake, congratulations. First off, let's talk about what's the waves like out there at the moment.
Yeah, it's tough conditions. The wind's so strong and it's coming from the side, so it's always going to be hard. And yeah, I know I was lucky. I got one good clean one, and yeah, I got to do a flip and then 2 rolls, which I was pretty happy with. You know, and it always feels like it's good to get a good one under the belt nice and early. So I was stoked.
And what's it feel like beating 9 times world champion Mike Stewart?
Yeah, it's really good. I've always had a lot of respect for the guy, and watched his videos growing up and that, and to verse him and also beat him, it's just like, yeah, it's a great feeling, and yeah, I'm really stoked.
You had a bit of a slow run at the beginning of the year. It must feel good to get a few good results under your belt now, hey, later on in the year?
Yeah, definitely. I was clutching at straws for a while there, and yeah, something had to give. I was just yeah, put my head down and just gave it my best, and it's like yeah, I don't know, just training, it's a lesson.
Well, congratulations, Jake, and we'll see you in the quarterfinals.